So in this class, we'll start analysis of data. Now, analysis data is not exactly a very big chapter for you. Should be over in 3-4 classes. We'll start off with so before performing analysis of data or before getting into how analysis of data is done, uh, you need to know what is analysis of data. Analysis of data is essentially where you are. So let us suppose you are a researcher and you have, made a hypothesis. You are thinking of doing research on one particular topic and आप पूरा data collect कर लिए. Analysis of data is essentially categorizing the data, organizing it and synthesizing the data in order to find the summary of that data. ठीक है, to find the answer of your research question and to test the hypothesis or to test the hypothesis whatever you are trying to do. ठीक है. Now, in this process, you are trying to break down a very complex topic into smaller topics, okay, so that you can gain a better understanding of that, of a disease or of a process or of a medical procedure, maybe drugs, whatever you researched about. वो डेटा को आप छोटा छोटा करके उसको एनालाइज करके एक रिजल्ट देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. दैट इज वाई एनालिसिस ऑफ डेटा इज डन. Now, before getting into analysis of data, you need to know about scales of measurement. Now we did discuss about scales of measurement in the first chapter, so I'll briefly go over what scales of measurement are. This is essentially a system of classifying measurements. Okay, depending on the nature of the measurement and depending on the type of mathematical operation which is applicable, you are assigning a different scale of measurement or you are using a different scale of measurement. Okay, before you perform analysis of data, you need to make sure that you are categorizing your data based on the type of data that you have. Okay. So, for example, there are four main types of scales of measurement: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. First, we'll look at nominal. Nominal scale of measurement is generally considered the lowest of the scales of measurement because उसका use भी कम रहता. ठीक है, it's a very simple scale of measurement. Generally, it involves assigning a particular number to represent category, ठीक है, or classes of things. There's no quantitative values as such, and they are mutually exclusive. मतलब एक value will not depend or will not be equal to the other value. Completely different रहती. For example, nominal scale of measurement, gender is a nominal scale of measurement. Male or female, दो categories आ गए ना इसमें. The number is 2 in this scenario. या habitat है, habitat, urban, rural, or slums, whatever it is. जो भी habitat में रहते हैं, these are all nominal scales of measurement. Then there is ordinal scale of measurement, जिसमें you are ranking objects. ठीक है, you rank objects based on their relative standing on a specific attribute. So what you are doing is numbers must preserve some level of order. ठीक है, you are having some order and you don't need to be extremely precise in this, but there is some relation to these. ठीक है, it only reflects magnitude, to what magnitude one of the attribute is being represented. For example, let us suppose the attribute that you are measuring is health status. ठीक है, नाउ ऑर्डिनल स्केल में आप चार वे में पेशेंट के हेल्थ को कैटेगराइज कर सकते हैं. लेट अस सपोज आई एम यूजिंग फोर वेज: पुअर हेल्थ, फेयर हेल्थ, गुड हेल्थ एंड एक्सलेंट हेल्थ. So here the attribute in question will be health, and what I'm doing is I'm creating an order. So ये order, obviously this will be the lowest and this will be the highest. Right? I'm creating that order, and they are how should I put it? They reflect each other in a way. They reflect a magnitude. All right. Another example is income status: low income status, middle income status, or high income status, or upper income status, whatever you call it. Okay, that will also represent the magnitude of their income. The attribute in question here is income. Okay, ordinal scale का सबसे बड़ा advantage is it will tell you what is the magnitude of things. Then there is interval scale or interval level scale, interval level measurement भी बोलते हैं इसको. Now in this see यहाँ पर कैसा है तो there is a specific ranking to objects, ठीक है, और based on an attribute you are creating ranks, and there is no absolute zero in this. Okay, there's no 0 point altogether, there is absence of that concept. So each of these values will have the same weightage, but they are different values numerically. For example, interval scale का example is temperature, ठीक है, या ब्लड प्रेशर, नहीं ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं, टेम्परेचर ले सकते हैं आप ग्लाइसेमिक लेवल भी ले सकते हैं, ब्लड ग्लाइसेमिक लेवल. Simplest to understand is temperature. So for example, 10 degrees to 80 degrees centigrade, let us suppose, या 40 degrees to 50 degrees, इसमें each and every value is equal to the other value, in the sense that 1 degree is also a degree of temperature, 2 is also a degree of temperature, 100 is also a degree of temperature, each have their own value, even though on a scale of interval 100 is higher than 1, but each of them have their own significant value. अगर 0 degree temperature भी बोला तो मैं it represents something, there is no absolute zero, it is not like there is no value altogether, zero has a value, ठीक है, zero represents a particular temperature. Then there is a ratio level measurement. Ratio level measurement is the highest level of measurement. इसमें आप क्या कर रहे हैं, you are measuring three attributes, you are measuring magnitude of things, you are measuring equal intervals, and you are measuring absolute 0 point. So all the three are satisfied. These will generally represent a continuous value. So for example, biophysical parameters है height, weight, volume, blood pressure, all of that. अगर मैं एक छोटा क्वेश्चनर बना, लेट्स सपोज आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ क्वेश्चनर फॉर अ पेशेंट हु इज कमिंग इनटू माय हॉस्पिटल, and I want to represent it, I want it to show all the scales of measurement, nominal to ratio scale. Let us suppose मैं ऐसा लगा रहा हूँ क्वेश्चनर. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज what is your habitat, where do you live essentially, ठीक है. The classification might be rural, urban, suburban, whatever it is. This is a nominal scale, ठीक है. देन आप उसकी जगह जेंडर भी लगा सकते हो, व्हाट इज योर जेंडर, मेल और फीमेल. देन डू यू कंसिडर योरसेल्फ, व्हाट डू यू कंसिडर योरसेल्फ. एंड यहाँ पर मैं कैटेगरीज दे रहा हूँ पेशेंट को, टीनेजर, यंग अडल्ट, मिडिल एज्ड अडल्ट और सीनियर सिटीजन. यहाँ पर मैं एक ऑर्डर क्रिएट कर रहा हूँ. सो दिस विल बिकम द ऑर्डर स्केल एग्जाम्पल. when I'm asking for habitat, I'm giving a nominal example. In while giving what do you call their consideration, what do they consider themselves, teenager to senior citizen, I'm creating an order, the attribute being age. What is your habitat, what do you consider yourself, uh, then आप इसके लिए इंटरवल स्केल के लिए एज यूज कर सकते हैं. हाउ ओल्ड आर यू. इसमें मैं इंटरवल कैसा क्रिएट कर दो, 25 to 34, लेट्स सपोज 35 to 44, 45 to 54 एंड 55 एंड अबव, ठीक है. तो पेशेंट क्या करता है, एनी वन ऑफ दीज ही विल टिक इट, या शी विल टिक दिस, ठीक है. दिस विल क्रिएट अ न्यूमेरिकल डिस्टेंस एंड इट विल क्रिएट एन इंटरवल, ठीक है. देन फाइनली व्हाट इज योर हाइट एंड वेट. अगर मैं BMI भी फाइंड करना चाह रहा हूँ, ठीक है, दिस इज अ रेशियो लेवल मेजरमेंट. BMI itself is a ratio level measurement because you will be classifying their BMI level based on their height and weight, weight divided by height square in meters, right. So these are the different scales of measurement. Now coming to analysis of quantitative data, There are four main steps in analysis of quantitative data. ठीक है. First step is data preparation. ठीक है. Cleaning, organizing the data for analysis. Before up, you can start the process of analysis. You take all that. You take all the raw data that you got from the field or from the clinic or wherever you got the data from. आप उसको क्या कर रहे हैं, आप उसको एक कंपाइल कर रहे हैं या आप उसको ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हैं ताकि यू कैन मूव ऑन टू द सेकेंड स्टेप. बिफोर यू कैन डिस्क्राइब द डेटा यू नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट यू आर preparing the data. All right. Now, data preparation will involve logging or checking the data into, checking the data for correctness or any errors, entering the data into the computer. Maybe you are transforming the data, documenting, okay, documenting the data, integrating it into different measures. All of that will involve data preparation. Now, there are a few steps that will be involved in data preparation. First step is compilation. कंपाइलेशन में क्या कर रहे हैं, यू आर गैदरिंग ऑल द डेटा टुगेदर इन वन प्लेस. ठीक है. बिफोर यू कैन स्टार्ट द प्रोसेस ऑफ एनालिसिस you need to make sure that you have all the samples, all the information from all the samples. ठीक है. आप जो भी डेटा कलेक्ट करें, let us suppose you collected the QOL of patients who had myasthenia gravis, quality of life of 2000 patients who had myasthenia gravis. तो you need to get the reports of all those patients. जो डेटा आप डेटा शीट यूज कर रहे थे उनके डेटा कलेक्ट करने के लिए QOL का, you need to have all those 2000 sheets. ठीक है. The first step will be compilation. In order to code it or to edit it, you need to make sure that you are compiling it before it become easier to implement it, easier to implement editing and all. Then second one is editing. Now editing may you are checking whether the gathered data is accurate, whether it is useful or it is complete. एडिटिंग में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अब जैसा प्रीवियस एग्जाम्पल ही ले लो, QOL of patients with myasthenia gravis, and you prepared a questionnaire. Let us suppose you prepared a questionnaire which had 10 questions. ठीक है. And you have 2000 such sheets. ठीक है. अब एडिटिंग में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, you are checking if any answers were missed, or did the patient not answer it correctly, in the sense that they answered out of the options that were given to them. Let us suppose you are giving 4 options. How is your muscle movement बोल के क्वेश्चन है. ठीक है. Good, bad, poor, excellent है. They are writing some other answer other than that. नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट लिख रहे हैं समझो. so तो in that scenario you will have to edit those kind of things. Maybe the paper is damaged. जो भी है, आप जो सैंपल कंपाइल कर लिए उसमें से आपको एडिट करना पड़ता है कौन से यूजफुल है, कौन सा डेटा एक्यूरेट है, विच काइंड ऑफ डेटा इज कंप्लीट. ठीक है. द एडिटर और प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर should make sure, project director, project manager, whatever you call it, should make sure that none of the questions have been skipped. Very important. ठीक है. जो भी डेटा आप इंटरप्रिटेशन के लिए रह रहे एंड वट एवर डेटा यू आर गोइंग टू एनालाइज, यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट ऑल द क्वेश्चंस that have been compiled have been answered. ठीक है. If you have a sheet in which answers have not been, let's suppose there is out of 2000, let's suppose there are 10 patients who did not answer all of them completely, discard those sheets. ठीक है. Or maybe if you have the chance, go again to those patients and collect that data again, whatever is feasible. All right. uh, Sometimes it can be skipped, sometimes it cannot. Okay. All the answers have been recorded and the replies are consistent with each other. Okay. So you have a consistent amount of data in the sense that similar options have been ticked up. Just as I told you, uh, out of the options that you are giving to the patient, uske bahar agar unho answer kar rahe boले, तो that question is invalid in a sense. You might have to go to that patient again and take that answer again. Okay. All of that will come under editing. थर्ड वन, कोडिंग. ठीक है. कोडिंग में आप क्या कर रहे हैं, यू आर असाइनिंग सर्टेन न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यूज और न्यूमेरिकल कोड टू डेटा. ठीक है. न्यूमरस रिप्लाईज कैन बी रिड्यूस टू स्मॉल नंबर. or small number of classes through coding. What you are doing is you are essentially converting the original data that you have into symbols with either manual use, as in you manually mark those symbols, or you can use a computer assisted analysis. Okay, and you have to make sure that these codes, whatever code you are using, it can be an abbreviation, a symbol, a number, alphabet, whatever you are assigning as a researcher, you should make sure that you have a proper cheat sheet of that code. Because if you forget what that code represents, what kind of code, what kind of data that code represents, then it will be troublesome. ठीक है, interpretation समझ में नहीं आता बाद में. And you have to make sure that these codes are mutually exclusive, meaning there is only one code for one condition. Let us suppose you were doing a research on autoimmune disorders. ठीक है, let us suppose you were doing research on autoimmune disorders, and let us suppose you considered 3 4 autoimmune disorders. For example, you considered psoriasis, Sjogren's, और autoimmune disorders क्या रहते हैं, SLE, ठीक है, और rheumatoid arthritis. ठीक है, let us suppose these are the 4 what you call autoimmune conditions that you were considering in the patient. Let's suppose we add IBS as well. ठीक है, now in this condition you have to make sure that you are coding them properly. Let us suppose मैं psoriasis को alpha code कर रहा हूँ, इसको beta, इसको delta, इसको gamma, इसको kappa. ठीक है, I have to make sure that the code is consistent, and I have that cheat sheet. Later on when I'm analyzing the data, I should not confuse alpha for Sjogren's disease or alpha for IBS. Alpha specifically represents only psoriasis, beta represents only Sjogren's, delta represents only SLE, वैसा. ठीक है, मैं कोड असाइन कर रहा हूँ and they are mutually exclusive. That code is only for one type of data. ठीक है, those codes should not overlap with each other. Then comes classification. One second. Right. Fourth step is classification. Classifying your data. Once you have coded the data, you have decreased the amount of data that you have. Now, what happens is many research results, the research that you get will be a large volume of raw data will be present. ठीक है, अब बहुत सारा raw data को, even if you code it, there is a lot of data. You have to classify it in order to analyze it. ठीक है, you create categories, different categories based on whatever you are looking for. You classify them into groups or classes, or so based on some common characteristics. ठीक है, some common ways of classifying data can be geographic classification. So for example, आप एरिया ऑफ रेसिडेंस के बेस पे क्लासिफिकेशन कर रहे हैं, या डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के बेसिस पे क्लासिफाई कर रहे हैं. सो फॉर एग्जांपल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के बेसिस पे सिकार है, जयपुर है, या बीकानेर है, या वट एवर डिस्ट्रिक्ट दैट यू आर यूजिंग, आदिलाबाद है, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. जोग्राफिक बेस पे क्लासिफाई कर रहे हैं. या फिर यू कैन क्लासिफाई इट बेस्ड ऑन chronological order. So based on time period, you can classify the data based on for example, daily profit of the company. ठीक है, that is one area where you can use chronological classification. For example, मंडे को कितना प्रॉफिट हुआ था, ट्यूसडे को कितना हुआ, वेंसडे को कितना हुआ, कंपेयरिंग वीकडेज विद वीकेंड्स, ऑल ऑफ दैट विल कम अंडर chronological classification. ठीक है, तो क्लासिफिकेशन में आया जियोग्राफिक, chronologic, chronological, whatever you call it. Then qualitative, qualitative classification में based on a certain attribute you are classifying the data. For example, type of gender, male or female or other, या फिर religion, etc etc etc, जो भी religion है. ठीक है, those are qualitative data based on attribute you're classifying. And finally, quantitative classification. Quantitative classification में, let us suppose you are classifying data based on age, height, weight, income, hemoglobin level. All of these will come under quantitative classification. For example, monthly income hai, monthly income in rupees. Classifications will be, let's suppose you are creating three classifications. One is less than 5,000 per month, then 5,000 to 10,000 per month, then more than 10,000 per month. You are creating three classifications through quantitative measure. In this is less than 5k, 5k to 10k, and more than 10k. ठीक है, whatever. आप hemoglobin का भी कर रहे हैं, patients who have hemoglobin less than 10, 10 to 12, then more than 12 or more than 13, whatever you call it. ठीक है. Then after classifying comes tabulation, putting the data into a table. Okay, that is tabulation. Essentially what you are doing is you are recording the classified data in accurate mathematical order. Okay, so that you can count and tally the data later on. Okay, now even though tabulation is a very tedious process where raw data has to be summarized and it needs to be displayed in a compact form, it will make it very easy for you to analyze data later on if you have tabulated it. Because once you have tabulated the data, एक बार table में डाल दिए कोई, tabulation is essentially the process in which you are putting the data, raw data, coded data or classified data into tables. Once you have tabulated the data, it is much more easier for you to detect errors or to detect any omissions, to perform comparisons. वो पूरा करने के लिए, statistical computation करने के लिए, it becomes much more easier if you have tabulated the data. Now there are different ways through which you can tabulate data, different forms of tabulation. For example, frequency distribution tables है, ठीक है, frequency distribution table, then contingency table, ठीक है. कंटिजेंसी टेबल को क्रिस क्रॉस टेबल भी बोलते हैं, जो काई स्क्वायर टेस्ट में यूज करते हैं. वैसे इन दिस टेबल यू आर एसेंशियली रिपोर्टिंग frequency distribution of two nominal variables. ठीक है, and you are reporting them simultaneously. You have two nominal variables whose frequency distribution. Now normal frequency distribution में आपको कैसा है, एक particular for example age group है 20 to 40, कितने लोग वो age group में आते हैं, let us suppose 20 लोग आ रहे, then age group 40 to 60, 10 पीपल आ रहे, दैट इज अ बेसिक फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टेबल. अब मेरे पास अगर दो नॉमिनल वेरिएबल्स है जिसका मैं फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना चाह रहा हूँ, देन आई यूज कंटिजेंसी टेबल. ठीक है, दे विल बी म्यूचुअली एक्सक्लूसिव एंड दे विल बी वेरी एग्जॉस्टिव, बट यू नो दे आर हेल्पफुल इन देयर ओन सिनारियोस. 2 by 2 या 2 by 3 या 3 by 3, जैसा भी आप क्लासिफाई करना चाह रहे हैं, आप कंटिजेंसी टेबल यूज कर सकते, जनरली का स्क्वायर टेस्ट में यूज करते हैं. देन यू कैन हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड अ मल्टीपल रेस्पॉन्स टेबल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मल्टीपल रिस्पॉन्स में अच्छा, नाउ यू आर, लेट्स सपोज देयर इज अभी कोरोना का ही सिचुएशन ले लो. ठीक है, यू आर गोइंग टू इंडिविजुअल पेशेंट्स हु आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम कोविड एंड यू आर आस्किंग देम व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सिम्टम्स दे आर शोइंग. लेट अस सपोज यू आर कैटेगराइजिंग इट इनटू 5 symptoms: fever, headache or body pain, rashes, taste loss, एंड अनदर सिम्टम. और क्या लगा सकते हैं, बॉडी पेन है, फीवर है, रैशेस, टेस्ट लॉस, और क्या सिम्टम लगा सकते हैं, लेट्स सपोज वॉमिटिंग है या डायरिया है. सम पेशेंट्स आर आल्सो रिपोर्टिंग डायरिया. ठीक है, नाउ multiple response table is essentially one in which you can get multiple responses from the same patient. Now it is not necessary that a patient will only have fever. They might have fever and rashes. They might be patients who have fever, taste loss and diarrhea. Then they might be patients who don't develop fever altogether. They might have body pain and diarrhea. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर you can get multiple responses. ठीक है, while they are only, you are only using major ones, you can get multiple responses in this scenario. ठीक है, एक पेशेंट बहुत सारे रेस्पॉन्सेज दे सकता हो. Then finally there are a few miscellaneous tables as well. Frequency distribution के लिए यूज करने, फॉर एग्जांपल मीन है, मीडियन, मोड, रेंज. ठीक है, वो पूरे miscellaneous tables में आते हैं. Tables in which cannot be categorized under these three will be miscellaneous, जिसको frequency distribution table या contingency या multiple response table में categorize नहीं कर सकते. All of that will be miscellaneous table. Generally these are tables that you are preparing specially because of your special scenario or because of the special kind of data that you are collecting. ठीक है. Then so that is the first D, data preparation. ठीक है. Then the second D, so analysis of quantitative data, as I told you, the first step is data preparation, in which you are organizing the data, in which you compile, edit, code, you classify, and then you tabulate the data. 5 steps. Then you describe the data. Now यहाँ पर descriptive statistics use करते हैं आप essentially. ठीक है. You are using descriptive statistics to describe the basic features of the data. For example, once you have collected all the main data, finding out percentages, yeah, measures of central tendency, percentage, measures of central tendency like mean, median, mode calculate कर रहे हैं आप, या फिर measures of dispersion, measures of measures of dispersion use कर रहे हैं. The measures of dispersion is range of the data, standard deviation of the data, mean deviation of the data. These are all examples of descriptive statistics. ठीक है. This is used to organize and summarize the data to draw meaningful interpretations. Make sure that here we are not making any inferences, that we'll do in the next step. But यहाँ पर या आप खाली डेटा को summarize करके describe कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. You are creating a small summary of the data. Now, whether or not that summary is properly representing your data is a different question. That we'll see in inferential statistics, the next step. Okay. Now, I don't need to go into what is mean, median, mode, that we have already discussed in statistics. So I'm going to skip that. Percentage में कैसा करते हैं या central tendency कैसा calculate करते हैं? What is central tendency? What are means of dispersion? We have already discussed that. ठीक है. आप जैसा भी कर रहे हैं, आप मीन कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं, देन ग्राफ पे रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, या सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं, टैबुलेट करके ग्राफ में रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, या मेजर ऑफ डिस्पर्शन यूज कर रहे हैं, मेजर ऑफ रिलेशनशिप यूज कर रहे हैं, सो कोरिलेशन कोएफिशिएंट फाइंड कर रहे हैं, वेदर वन फैक्टर इज रिलेटिंग टू अदर फैक्टर, कोरिलेशन आप देख रहे हैं. ऑल ऑफ दैट विल कम अंडर डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स. The next part of what you call analysis of data will be inferential statistics. ठीक है. That is drawing inferences. Inferential statistics अपन कल देखेंगे. What are the errors in inferential statistics? What is inferential statistics? How it is used and all. We have discussed it already, but just overview देखेंगे. ठीक है.